On this installment of Resilience Toolbox, we're speaking with paramedic and firefighter David Dufek, founder of XDCuff, a patented stretcher-integrated limb restraint designed to cut application times, reducing providers' exposure to accidental assault, and improving the speed of care. Dave, welcome to Resilience Toolbox.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Walk us through the inspiration behind the development of XDCuff and what sets it apart from traditional limb restraints out there.
So I've been in EMS for almost 18 years now, and throughout my career just had a lot of difficulties applying traditional limb restraint products. And one call in particular, my partner was injured during the call, and that was the moment I really realized that this needed to change because it was a drawn out process. We weren't able to physically restrain him with soft restraints and had to utilize police. So it really delayed patient care. My partner was injured. So that was kind of the moment I was like, hey, we need a better physical restraint. And so what XDCuff is it's a stretcher integrated restraint that's already attached to the stretcher. So when the unfortunate event happens, you have a patient like that, you don't have to go searching for the restraints. They're already in the correct location, ready to deploy. It's just a much faster, more efficient way to restrain them.
So how does the stretcher integrated design of XDCuff enhance what you're talking about with the patient safety and comfort compared to when we used to have to scramble to get some restraints together?
There's not a predetermined spot on a stretcher currently to where to apply restraints. And this is very important, especially with the powered cots now, being that the legs are so close to the correct positioning. There's been instances where they've accidentally tied it to the legs of the stretcher, and when they lowered it, it's hurt the patient. So not only do you have the mechanics of the stretcher to be concerned about damaging the stretcher or the patient, but it lessens that time that it takes to apply it because you already know where the anchors are. They're highlighted in yellow. We even had a custom color made so you can easily identify where they are. Just the pre-connected aspect alone, let alone the cuff also being there, it just greatly speeds application, especially when you have students or police officers working together. It kind of keeps everybody on the same page.
Is there training that's needed, and how can department leaders better prepare their crews for deploying the XDCuff?
Having the correct tool is only part of it, as you know, in the fire service. So physically restraining folks, especially new hires, is really important, and it's something that kind of gets touched on a little bit in school and a little bit with new hire, but the amount of training we have compared to like a police officer is very minimal. We should have this training for sure. We are expected to restrain and treat patients that may have a head injury or had a seizure or something like that. So we're kind of thrown into this, not really knowing and kind of learning on the job, and that shouldn't be the place you learn. If you can just get the folks out there on the same page, like how we're going to restrain them, almost like pit crew CPR, where everybody has a task before you even get there. This person's going to be given the medications. This person's going to be holding the arms or the legs. This person's going to be attaching the cuffs. As long as everybody's on the same page, and the training doesn't have to be anything in depth really, it could just be a few hours going over with the new hires like what they're expected to do. And I think that would make a significant change to how safely we do this out there. And we need to do a better job of making sure we're restraining who we need to.
So Dave, give us a little snapshot on who out there is using it and what parts of the country are embracing the XDCuff.
We've been lucky to have a lot of growth in the past few years. We have Boston EMS is a big one, Acadian Ambulance, San Francisco, to name a few of the large ones, and we have hundreds in between there. And it's just been awesome to see the feedback we're getting from these departments, and they've actually helped a lot in the development, little tweaks here and there that make the product even better, and that's something that we continue to do today.
If you're interested in a free trial of XDCuff or would like more information, you can reach out to your local equipment distributor or contact David directly through his website, xdcuff.com. He'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Well, thank you for joining us today on Resilience Toolbox, for sharing this important information. We wish you continued success with XDCuff.
All right, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.